All right, I'm gonna try it again. Try it again. Turn everybody on. Everybody seems to be on. All the destinations. Now, can anybody hear me? Trying it again. We're trying it one more time. We are live and in person. Can you see me, Sister Shannon? I'm asking you on the text message and on the stream. Thank you, Toy Lise. Somebody's finally answering me. That means you can see. I don't know what happened, y'all. That was crazy. It just didn't come on. Okay, let's just go. I don't know what happened there. Let's just go right to it and see what the Lord is serving up on today. That was weird, y'all. All right, I'm going to put it up here. Listen, look here with me at Proverbs 18:1. I just want to show you this real quick. It says, a man who isolates himself and seeks his own, a man who isolates himself seeks his own desire. He rages against all wise judgment. Verse 2 says, a fool has no delight in understanding, but in expressing his own heart. I want to focus on that first part. A man who isolates himself seeks his own desire. Wow. Many times you hear someone say, especially in our church realm, we hear him say, I'm done. I'm just done with people. I'm done with everybody. I'm done with everything. You know, I ain't dealing with these folk no more. I don't want to be a part of this no more. I'm done with family. You know, you even have some people that are married, right? They're like, you know, I'm finished with and some folk, they even go and stretch it a little bit. I'm done with these kids. How you gonna be done with your kids? They your kids. You made them. You brought them into this world, and now you done with them. You know. So what happens? I'm having a little fun with it, but it's actually pretty serious. So what happens? You go into an isolation state, right? You break off. You set yourself apart from everybody. You completely detach. What about this one? Especially in church. Now, y'all know how this one go, right? We've all kind of felt it or experienced it in some way. You go through some type of disciplinary action, or you do something that was a little out of pocket, and the pastor or your leader has to come to you and kind of, you know, get things back in order and get you together, you know, or get the group together, something like that, right? And what happens? You get in your feelings and you disappear. You gone. You ain't nobody seen you. It's next week is your time to play the drums. You gone. Next week is your time to pray and help us with communion. You gone. Next week is your time to minister and Bible study. You gone. Ain't no trace. You are just gone. And then this is the part that gets me. You randomly show up weeks later, sometimes even months later, like, hey, everybody. And everybody kind of looking at you, especially at Living Waters, because we ain't shade, you know, stay over at Living Waters. You know, we get you right together if you out of pocket. Yeah. And you randomly show up and everybody looking at you like, excuse me, ma'am, sir, where you been? You know, to be nosy, but we out here, we're looking after you. We've been calling, we've been DMing you, we've been sending text messages. You ain't responding, and none of the chat feeds. You just off the grid. And now you up in here like, hey, everybody, what's going on? and the person goes, and this the response they give. I'm going somewhere, y'all. Just roll with me. They say, I needed a minute. I needed a minute. What you need a minute for? Oh, I'm going in and out. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep trying it. They said, well, I needed a minute to get my mind right because it wasn't gonna be pretty up in here. You know, I was in my finish. Now you're just threatening us. Now you're just threatening. You're pompous, and you're all out of order. So in cases like these, isolation can be a symptom of rebellion. In cases like these, isolation can be symptoms of rebellion. Let's look at the second half of that scripture. I love it. Watch it, y'all. It says, he rages against all wisdom. Y'all see that? He rages against all wisdom. So not only does he want to detach from us, not only do you want to detach from leadership and your ministry and your spiritual family, now you're angry with it. Now you've fallen out of the will of God. Now you ain't even in the Bible no more because it's all about you. Right. Let's look at verse 2. Look at verse 2. It says, a fool has no delight. Let me move my caption out of the way so y'all can see it. A fool has no delight in understanding. Woo-wee. A fool. And see, you be mad at us when we start saying you're a fool. But look at this. A fool has no delight in understanding, but in expressing his own heart. His own opinion is the only thing that matters. Y'all see it? You had no point. You don't care about what nobody else's feelings was in it. You don't care about that you was out of pocket. You don't care about you kept showing up late. You don't care the fact that you went too long. We said you had 7 minutes. You was up there for 15 and a half minutes. We told you not to be preaching and stuff after you sing the song. You went straight into a full-blown sermonette after you sung the song. So we got you together, and now you don't even want to hear our part about it? Now, come on now. You out of line. You out of pocket. You out of the will. You out of the intention of God. Because who gave Solomon these proverbs? God. He loved Solomon so much he gave him, what was it, over 3,000 of them? Things that we're supposed to live by, that we're supposed to abide by. And this isolation, see, in isolation, you get the best of both worlds because in isolation, there's nobody to challenge you. There's nobody to check you. There's nobody to get you together. You by yourself. So all you get to do is deal with your own thoughts and your own perspective. So you didn't need a minute from the church. You took a minute from the church because you were never interested in the church. You weren't interested in the correction, the guidance. You're not interested in being under good leadership because it's going to be you one day. You're not interested in developing and becoming stronger and realizing where you may be a little out of alignment and you may need help. From somebody that's looking from the outside in. Okay. The desire of Christ, I'm finished, y'all. The desire of Christ is that we be one unified body, right? It can never be about one member. It's about all of us. Let's look at the physical body, right? Even though the heart is very important, so is the rib cage and the chest cavity. Even though the hands are important, so are the feet. Try walking around. It's kind of an oxymoron, but try walking around here without no feet. Even though the feet are important, but so are the eyes. You may have your feet, but it's going to be hard to get around if you can't see. So it's supposed to be one unified body. Thank you, Minister Tondela. Thank you, y'all. I see y'all with me now. Okay, I don't know what was wrong with our technical difficulties earlier. So it's never about one member that makes the body work. It's all about everything. Your thumbs, your fingers, your ears, your nose, everything working together. Which brings me to this. When we go into isolation, what we're doing is we're defying order. When we go into isolation, we defy order. You have now become a member working outside of the design that was intended by God, that brings forth success, that brings forth unification, that brings forth productivity, that brings forth, right? This one cohesive, strong body in Christ. Really, in lay terms, you have become rogue. You have become a reprobate. Remember, to get peace, you got to come in peace. Remember, to get understanding, you got to come in understanding. Remember, to get respect, you got to come, especially in Living Waters Church. You come in there fooling and acting, somebody going to cut you. You're going to run into Angel Waters. You're going to run into Laisha. You're going to run into D-Dub. You're going to run into Pastor P. You're going to run into Evangelist Mike. Y'all can see it all on our social media. You come over here wrong, we're going to send you back limping. And I mean that physically. I'm just saying, you come in love, we're going to give you love. Okay? If it's something that we need to break up off you, we can do that too. We can go into an all-out war and battle on your behalf to get that spirit of rebelliousness up off of you. That spirit of bad attitude, we can get it up off of you. We can pray it up off of you. Please don't misinterpret me here. We're not talking about beating people down. We're just talking about, hey, when in the spirit that you come, that's what you're going to get. Nobody speak to me. You don't speak to nobody when you come in. Nobody want to sit next to me. Well, when you come in, you sit in the corner. No, nobody called me. What's the last person you called? So you see what I'm saying? So to get love, you got to come in love. I love this Proverbs 18. I'm finished, y'all, because it starts with the effects of isolation, but it ends with the instruction of becoming a friend. I'll close with this. Proverbs 18, 16, 17 verses from what we just talked about. It says, but a man who has a friend must himself be friendly. I'll say it again. A man who has friends must himself show himself friendly. But there's a friend who sticks closer than a brother. A friend, brothers and sisters, is a bond between two individuals of mutual respect and affection. There's no way you can show yourself friendly in isolation. We got to be together. We got to be around each other. We got to be in contact with each other. So when you come in the name of that, you'll get the fruit of that. This thought right here. What if every time God got in his feelings about us, he disappeared? I'm Pastor Jay. That's the water break for the day.